back to my channel. In this video we're gonna do a part 2 of my Q&A. This one is gonna be super light, super fun, a little more personal. We're gonna laugh. Hopefully we're gonna laugh. Hopefully. Then again, people are always laughing at the things I say just because I'm out there. I do have a list of all you guys' questions, a whole bunch of them, so we're gonna get right into it and I guess start having some fun. First question is, what is something weird that you do? Okay, confession. I'm just weird overall, but this is the one weird thing, well, one of the weird things that I feel like my husband was just like, why? Okay, so I used to always have to like pick up with a spoon when I'm feeding myself, the spoon, whether it's hot or cold food, before I put it in my mouth. I had to like breathe out onto it. I don't know why. It was like an OCD thing. Like I needed to breathe onto my food prior to actually eating it, and then at one point it progressed from that to like, okay, breathe into it and then touch your chin with it and then eat it. And then eventually when I realized that people were kind of making fun of me because it's like really weird, I kind of stopped, or so I thought that I stopped, until a few weeks ago my husband called me out on it. He's like, why did you just breathe on your food again? So I don't know if it's under, you know, in moments where I'm under stress or I'm anxious for whatever reason, if I do it more often. I thought I had stopped, but I got called out on it recently, so I tend to breathe on my food before eating it. What are my favorite chips? Okay, so it could vary. Like I love honey barbecue chips, but at my house somehow we always end up getting the nacho cheese Doritos. And I know that's like so basic, but nacho cheese Doritos, I don't know, there's something about the Doritos, like once you're done, because there's no more in the bag, right? Because you can't just have 2 or 3 Doritos, like you end up eating the whole bag, and then you just have like orange fingers and Cheetos. Oh my God. But like honestly, I love honey barbecue, but we always end up getting Doritos at my house, and those things don't last. I get the family size and they last like 2 days. Okay, a few people have asked this, what do I do for a living? So the type of work that I do is extremely confidential. So no, I don't work for the CIA or the FBI. I told somebody that as a joke. They're like, really? I'm like, no. Okay, so the line of work that I do in specific is very confidential. What I can say is that I am a social worker. I reside in New Jersey. I am a social worker and I provide human services to people under certain categories. So people who are eligible, and that's as much as I can say, but I am a social worker. What do you do for fun? So if I'm honest, I work a full-time job. I am a mom, I am a wife. I don't have that much time on my hands. So my number one hobby and thing that I do for fun is YouTube. I enjoy the filming process. I love the editing because I make so many mistakes. I crack myself up. So the whole filming, editing, and then once I release the video, I get to communicate with you guys. That is my number one hobby, and I do this all for pure fun and enjoyment, and I wanted to build a relationship with people from all over the world, so this was a great platform to do it on. So that's what I do on my spare time, and I don't have much of it, but when I just try to take as much advantage of whatever time I have as possible. Another hobby that I have, which I kind of wedge in between, is cooking. I usually am on YouTube, so I always find little recipes and cooking ideas, and then I'm always in the kitchen. I love baking and making new things and cooking new dishes and making dishes look super pretty. So YouTube and the cooking, because I'm a huge foodie. Some of you guys wanted to know about my family and siblings, so I'll tell you this. I have 3 sisters, 2 that are older than I am, and then 1 that is younger. The one that is younger you have seen on my channel. We did a fun video together. I have 2 nieces and 1 nephew, and that's that. I have my mom, and then I have my dad. No, they are not together. And then I have my husband and my daughter. Out of everyone in my family, I see my husband and my daughter every single day. Obviously, we live under the same roof. How is that even possible that we wouldn't be able to see each other? Life gets busy, so I don't generally see any of my siblings or my parents on a routine basis. I do see my dad a little more often than most people, and then whenever I do get together with my sister, it's just a lot of fun. Like my little sister, it's like a lot of fun, and we just catch up and just like watch the video. I'm gonna put it right here, watch it. We're just weird, funny people. It runs in the genes. What can I say? How long have you been getting BoxyCharm? I would always say about 2.5 years, or you know, maybe it was being modest, maybe it was my way of not exaggerating. I'm not one to like putting information out there like and making it sound like it's set in stone if I don't know for sure. So I did go on to my BoxyCharm account, and I saw that I've been a subscriber for over 3 years, which is crazy. So I've had my BoxyCharm for over 3 years. The boxes keep getting better. I can't complain. Do you have any other subscription services? No, I do not. When like beauty subscription services initially came out, I automatically subscribed to Ipsy, which is $10 a month, and Birchbox, which is also $10 a month. Then I eventually learned about Beauty Army, which was $12 a month. So I had those three. I canceled Beauty Army. That was the first one I canceled. I had each of them for a good 6 months. Yeah, for a good 6 months. And even though the value was great, it was $10. I'm like, dude, they're sending us samples that you can pick up in store. Like, you could definitely go to the Macy's counter and just pick up a few like makeup items, or even just go and ask for the samples and they would give it to you. Yeah, they were sending me samples. And then I remember Birchbox at one point sent me a granola bar, and I was like, oh no honey, I'm not paying $10 for samples and a granola bar. So I canceled. Ipsy was the one that I canceled last. I think I had Ipsy for like 8 months. But I just kind of got tired of the one use samples, or like you can max get like 3 uses out of it. Like a moisturizer that big, I mean, you know. So I canceled Ipsy. This was a long time ago, and then I eventually learned about BoxyCharm, and then I subscribed to BoxyCharm, and I never went back. Someone wanted to know what my favorite food is. My favorite food has to be pizza, and it's so crazy because in my house we are all so different. I'm the only one that automatically wants to get pizza. Like, hey, you know what, I'm not cooking, let's get pizza. I love pizza, but I don't like the pizza like that you can get that it's like pure bread. No, I want like the thinnest bread possible, like the thinnest ever. And then I want a lot of sauce and a lot of cheese, and then pepperoni or even bacon. Like, you would be surprised when I order pizza, the combinations that I make. People look at me like, really? But then when you taste it, it's so good. Pizza, 110%. What are your favorite things in the world? Well, if you haven't figured that out already, it is makeup and food. I love eating. I can't eat as much as I used to. I eat very little, like a little bird, but I love food. I just love tasting food. I know it's weird, but I love food. What are your favorite drugstore brands? I totally love Maybelline, L'Oreal. Oh my god, Maybelline, L'Oreal, Wet n Wild, and the new brand that I've tried that I'm like really enjoying is the CYO. I tried their foundation. I'll put a link up here to my video, but the CYO foundation is amazing. I've been postponing buying more stuff, but I really want to try more from that brand because I am like in love with that foundation. What is your favorite snack? Weirdly enough, it always used to be ice cream for like ever, and then in the past year I'm good without ice cream. Like, as soon as I want a snack, I go straight for the chips. There's something about really salty chips, so I just do the chips, man. I can eat a whole bag of chips. It's disgusting, I know, but really yummy chips. I can sit down and eat a whole bag of chips by myself. So in one of my private messages on Instagram, someone asked what was my reaction whenever I would get scared. I'm gonna be honest, that was such a random question, but I think the response is like the answer is really funny. The only thing is, I know some of you guys cast my videos on your TV in a living room or a bedroom and you watch with your children, so I'm gonna forewarn you, cover their ears or send them out the room because I'm getting ready to say a curse word. here we go. I'm gonna tell you guys how I react when I get scared, but I hope at this point you've either removed your child from the room, which I know is rude, I'm sorry, or you've put like your earbuds in place or something like that, because I just really don't want to curse in front of your children. Okay, so here we go. Whenever someone jumps out at me, or I'm not expecting to see someone and they just pop up all of a sudden, or I just get scared, I don't know why, but my initial reaction is, motherfucker! I don't know why. I don't really use that word. Like, that's not a word in my vocabulary. I don't think about the word, but somehow whenever I get scared, that's the first word that pops out. I don't even know why I react that way, but my husband at one point, okay, quick story. So my husband works a weird schedule, and during the week it's hard for us to kind of see each other, right? Okay, so here. So I was in the living room with Ty and I'm folding laundry. She is listening to music and I'm singing along with her. The way my house is set up is there is an entrance into the kitchen from the living room and the dining room, and it's all kind of circulated, connected with the wall in between. So what happens? We're having a good time singing our songs and I'm folding laundry. I walked into the kitchen and I see a very tall person standing in my doorway of the kitchen, dressed completely in black and a hoodie. I automatically freaked. I mean, who expects it? I didn't hear any movement, so I freaked. I screamed, motherfucker, and I ran the other way. I ran away, and as I'm running, I realized it's my husband. The sad part is I left my daughter behind. I was like, save yourself, and I ran. I know, so irresponsible, but when you're scared, you can't help but, like, I need to work on that, because I should have grabbed my child and ran, but I left my child. I bolted. And the last question is, have you had any makeup mishaps? Yes, I have. That's the short answer. I have had makeup mishaps. The funny thing is that it wasn't even on me. So, and it wasn't really makeup. So let me explain. Years and years and years ago, I was not into makeup. Like, I owned nothing. If you watched part 1, you already know that I owned nothing. But I've always been very inquisitive with a lot of things that, for me, like, if it strikes my curiosity, I want to give it a try. So I remember watching something. I don't know if it was in a commercial. Oh, maybe it was like because that was the Jersey Shore kind of time. So it could have been Jersey Shore. The point is, I was very curious about false lashes. So I ended up going and getting the kit of like the little individual ones, and the glue that it came with was a glue that would dry clear, and it wasn't like a latex, like it literally would stay on your lids for like 2 to 3 weeks. It was a more like a semi-permanent type of glue. Weirdly enough, playing around with this with these individuals, and I applied them only on the outer ends, so I would have wispies. I don't even know. This was me making shit up, right? So I did that, and my coworker one day goes, oh, I like that, whatever, I would like to try that. I said, girl, I got the kit, I'm gonna come in. I'm over here acting like I know what I'm doing. I'm acting like I know what I'm doing. And I said, girl, I got you, I'm gonna bring the kit tomorrow, we'll do it on our lunch break. So at this point, it coincides with the time that I was waiting to find out if I was pregnant or not with my son. So funny enough, she is reclined back on one of the office chairs, and I'm like gluing her lashes in place, and I get a phone call. So I answer the phone, you know, trying to multitask, like I know what I'm doing like a professional. I'm trying to multitask, and I have my phone here, and I'm applying her individual lashes. And as they're talking to me, I noticed that my hand's like shaking, and I'm like trying to hold my composure, and I'm like, yeah, okay, and I'm listening to what they're saying, but my hand's like freaking shaking. I had already finished one eye. So my hand's shaking, and I'm trying to get a good grip so I can apply the lash in a proper place. I just did not have a steady hand, because hearing what I was hearing, I was freaking nervous. So over the phone, I was being told the pregnancy worked. You're like, okay, like the treatment worked, you're pregnant, right? So hearing that, I'm shaking. I tried to play it off. Okay, thank you. Oh my God, thank you. I try to play it off. I hang up the phone. And then I finished putting the last lash, and then I said, guess what, Sandra? And she's like, what? And I said, that phone call, I'm sorry, I was like so nervous because they just told me the treatment worked and I'm pregnant. Sandra gets up and starts jumping with me, and she's like, congratulations. She knew how hard I've been trying. So she's like, congratulations, yeah, girl, oh my God. So we're jumping up and down holding hands, and I noticed that she's doing one of these. And I'm like, hey, and she's like, oh shit, I can't open my eye. I glue her eye shut, dude. Guys, I glued her eye shut with my hand that was not steady. I glued her eye shut. So, and then it was a mission to get it open. Poor thing. Okay guys, that is a wrap for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I know the questions were all over the place, but these were questions that I didn't get to answer on my first Q&A. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. You guys already know my social media platforms will be right here for you guys. Make sure you go follow me there. Also, I'm placing my subscribe button right here, making it super easy for you guys to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Also, I've selected a few videos. I'm putting them up here. In the event that you want to continue to watch my content, you can just click on here. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.